Hello, friends. It looks like we're live. We've always got that lovely little delay. So I am just going to wait for YouTube to catch up. Hopefully it won't be too far along. Great. I see many of you joining us in the comments. Hi, friends. So happy to be here with you. I know you were expecting two people today. Heather is a little bit under the weather. So you get me for today's sneak peek of our upcoming release. This release is called Gentle Greetings and Greenery. And there's lots of fun stuff in it. And I'm just going to show you a little snippet of it today. So I hope that you enjoy getting to hang out with just me today. Of course, I wish that Heather was able to be here with us, but definitely wishing her well and hoping that she feels better soon. Hi, friends. So glad you're here. Welcome. I'm so glad you're joining us today, joining me today. I might be on my own. I'm not sure. So someone pops in under the Pinkfresh Studio name, we will welcome them. If not, I'll do my best to catch comments and such in what I can find and questions, but give me a little bit of grace on that. So um, if you are new to our lives, welcome. We're so happy that you're here. Let me know in the comments if you're new, and if I see it, I will try to call it out. But once again, whether you're new or a veteran, welcome. We're so glad you're here. I am excited to give you guys a little peek at our release. This release will go live next Tuesday. So Tuesday, December 10th, I think is December 9th or 10th. Of course, I have that day mixed up. Let me December 10th. There we go. um, so you don't have too long to wait for these new goodies to release. And so you can get your hands on some of this fun new product. All right, we have a big giveaway going on today, a big one. So we're going to give away a spot into our February 2025 Create and Connect event. We are going to give away a main event kit today. So huge, $255 value. Um, if you have already purchased the event, the main kit, we will refund that to you. If it happens to be that you are the winner and you've already registered, we will issue a refund for the main kit event price. I'm so glad you guys are excited about the giveaway. Awesome. So the ways that you enter for this giveaway is do what you're doing now. Chat with us in the live chat. All of your comments act as an entry into the giveaway. If I am picking the giveaway at the end, you guys are probably going to have to bear with me a little bit while I get that random chooser going on. So we might have some weird moments of awkward silence. I'll try to keep the conversation going, but picking the winner, if it's just me, will be very important. Um, and then another way that you can enter to win, go ahead and share this video. And it looks like Kinnery just jumped on, so perfect. Go ahead, share this video, this live somewhere. Whether you are, you can share it to Instagram, you can share it to Facebook. Maybe you have like a crafty message, email, DM with friends, share there. Come back here, let us know you shared, and that's just an extra entry into the giveaway. Finally, not an extra entry, pardon me, but if you could just give the video a thumbs up. That it just helps the video both now and while it's on replay. So we would love for you to do that as well. All right, I think I have gone over everything. It looks like Kinnery is going to moderate in the comments, so I'm assuming she will be picking the winner at the end of the live. Lori, I don't think I'll do that. All right, well, that is everything I have for you. Let's go ahead and flip the camera around. Oh, shoot, forgot to turn my hot foil system on. So I'm going to do that right now. And we might have to do a little bit of other work while we're waiting for my hot foil system to heat up, but we can take a look at the products that I am going to sneak peek today. And I might actually do a little bit of die cutting first to give that hot foil system time to heat up. So bear with me while I switch my camera and we'll get going. All right, here we are. So these are the fun things that I am going to sneak peek today. So this is our new Thinking of You set. This is a 4-piece product suite. It's got kind of a sympathy theme to it and thinking of you. I'm going to focus on the love and hugs sentiment with the colors that I'm choosing to use today. I'm going to foil. So we've got the coordinating press plate set. It has the flowers. These I think are lavender, if I'm correct. But you can color them any way that you see fit. It can definitely be used for lots of colors. And while I am going to use a little purple, I'm also going to use a little pink. So we're waiting for my hot foil system to heat up. I am going to foil the flowers. I don't think I'm going to foil, well, I might foil the sentiments with them, but I think I'm going to stamp the love and hug sentiment as we go. So it also has a coordinating die set for the flowers and the two main sentiments, then a coordinating stencil set as well, which we'll go over a little bit more as we are doing the ink blending. So another thing I'm going to showcase in my background. Now I am not going to feature the press plate, but I wanted to show that this is a 2-piece product suite. I am going to just use the die in my background. Great thing about it, you can use them in any way you prefer. You can use just the press plate, you can use just the die, or you can use them together to complement one another. I'm going to use the die and cut it from some glitter paper just to put in my background. But I wanted to showcase that there are the two options, and this one is called interlaced diamonds. So these are just a couple of sneak peek of our December release. There's more lovely goodies being released, but this is happening to be what I am going to showcase today. Since we are still waiting for the hot foil system to heat up, I'm going to go ahead and die cut this background die from the glitter paper that I want to feature today. So I'm grabbing my very favorite, because it is now back in stock, Ivory Glitter cardstock. Definitely one of my favorites. And y'all, I haven't even taken this off the packaging yet, so bear with me while I probably basically destroy this packaging trying to get it off. Hey, that wasn't too bad. Sometimes it's a mess, but that one, it went through pretty well. So it's a nice big die. I don't think it's going to fit that way, so I think I'm going to have to cut it this way. I don't waste glitter paper though, so I am going to trim this down. And I can probably use this little, goodness, that got close. Use these little excess pieces on other projects. Isn't it pretty, Winnie? This is my favorite glitter cardstock ever. All right, Marilyn, this release goes live on next Tuesday. So you've just got a week. It will be live in our online shop on Tuesday, December 10th at 9 a.m. Central Time. Oh, thank you so much for sharing, Donna. We appreciate that. Okay, I need to grab my cutting plates and then we will get this cut out. And then hopefully by that time, my hot foil system will be close to being heated up, heat up. Not completely sure which is the right way to say that. Okay. So glitter cardstock can be a little slippery, but what I have found is if you tape down also directly to your plate, that helps the die stay in place. So I'm going to run this through my die cut machine and I will be right back. Let's see if that cut okay. If not, I can always grab a bubble mailer, but I always like to try first and not add any additional pressure if I don't need it. Let me see. I actually think it's going to need it. I'm going to see. It cut really well, but it didn't cut super well in the middle. So let me see here. And that is, if you guys notice, this is kind of bubbled. So it's possible that I need to update my top cutting sandwich a little bit. That's okay though. I'm just going to align this back up. I'm going to grab a piece of bubble mailer and I'm just going to run it through one more time. Give me just a minute here. I've actually got to cut a piece of bubble mailer here to fit. That should be good. So if you ever have a die not cut all the way through, take the time to line it back up, add a little bit of a bubble mailer underneath it. And I bet you this time it will cut perfectly. And hey, this is giving my hot foil system a little bit more time to warm. All right, there we go. And that time we have a winner, friends. It even stuck in the die. So let me pull that off. Oh, awesome. And look, even when just using the die by itself, look at how stunning and intricate that is in that ivory glitter. Man alive. I love it. Okay, so you could absolutely keep these pieces and use them and create like a little background with them. This would be good for if you have press and seal. You could kind of like put it back together and then use press and seal to grab it. I think I don't have press and seal, so I'm probably just going to put it in the garbage, but I'm tempted to try to do it. We'll see. Maybe I'll just set it aside and see how it goes. I don't know if I have all of the little dots left over, so I may just have to try it on a different one. But that would be a fun option, is kind of putting it back together and using the inverse pieces to create a background. I think that would actually be really fun. Okay, my hot foil system is it is warm enough now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my desk ready and switched over for, oh goodness, for hot foiling. Give me a minute while I put the die away here. That would be really fun too, Rebecca, piecing it in different colors. You could make like a little rainbow. There's definitely a lot of really fun options with that. All right, let me set these guys aside. And let's focus on some foiling. Hey, Kelly. All right, so this is nice and heated up. How I know it's heated up is a little green light came on above where it says platform ready. It takes about 5 to 6 minutes typically to get your hot foil system heated up. So let's go ahead and grab the press plate set for Thinking of You. And we've got the lovely flowers. And while I don't think I'm going to use a foiled sentiment, I have enough room on my cardstock to at least add one of them. I might try to add both. And if one of them gets cuts off, that's okay. But it's worth trying. I think I'm going to stamp my sentiment, but if I have the space, why not go ahead and use up as much of that cardstock and foil as possible? And then I can use those on other cards for the release as well. All right. Okay, so let me, hit the timer button here. And let's get our die cut machine out here. So I am using the satin gold foil from the Spellbinders. I think it is there. I think there are two sets that this currently comes in. There is the satin metallics, and then there is the Christmas Sparkle or Sparkle Christmas. I can't remember the exact name of it. And I think satin gold is in both of those sets. And that is the one I'm using. So something I've noticed about the satin ones that I have on hand is they kind of curl. And so I always, when I cut my piece, I always put it directly onto a piece of cardstock. I have noticed if I try to put the foil without the cardstock, it kind of rolls up on me and I basically have to start over. So if you find you're having the same issues with that, try this. Try putting it on a piece of cardstock, and I will just put it directly down onto the foil system when it's time to do all of the foiling. Now let me grab my die cut machine here. I don't have the biggest desk space, but I am going to showcase as much as I can here. Ugh. Sid is asking if we have matte gold paper. We do not have matte gold paper, but we have a lot of glitter cardstock colors. Okay, timer's done. We're ready to go. So I always like to remove the base, or excuse me, the platform from the base first before I start layering my sandwiches. That way there's not any, moving or shifting, which could cause haloing, all of that fun stuff. So I'm going to remove the platform, and then I am going to put this directly down, and I'm hoping I'm going to cover all of the designs with foil. It's going in a little blind. And then I'm going to add the two shims that come with the glimmer system. Now that frosted green one is the heat resistant shim, so they suggest putting it closest to the heat, and then the clear plate on top. So I am going to bring this back through and let's see how our foiling turned out here. All right. And it turned out perfectly. I will put that foil aside for later. I don't have time to do the solid foiling with everything else I need to finish on my card. So we're just going to stick with that, but look at how lovely that turned out. Okay. I am going to put away my die cut machine. I'm going to turn my system off here. Now, something I want to show you guys is I am going to remove the press plates and put them directly on my glass mat. And then I'm going to convert my desk over for ink blending here shortly. But what I love about this is that glass mat disperses the heat really super quickly. Like I can actually already touch these press plates. That is like a little tip that I love about these because I like to clean as I go. So I don't want to have to run the risk of these, shoving them off my desk, accidentally losing them, etc. So if you have a glass mat and you use a glass mat, it is a really good way to disperse that heat so you can go ahead and put your products right back in the packaging. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Cherry. Sure. Sherry, I'm sorry. I always think I get your name wrong. I apologize for that. Sid, my glass mat is from We Are Memory Keepers, but there are a ton of glass mats out there that you can use. So um, keep that in mind. Okay, I am going to tape this down. Um, the tool that was used to remove the foil or the foil plates or the press plates, it's just a little magnetic tool that comes with the glimmer system. So we have some plates that are a little bit too heavy for it. And when that is the case, I actually just use a magnet from my Misty stamping platform to grab those heavier, bigger dies. So another little tip, those ones were light enough that it wasn't really necessary to do, uh, to do, um, I didn't need a more heavy duty magnet. Okay, so this is a 4-piece stencil set. And when all is said and done, you can color your image in like this. Now, I wanted to point out that there are some areas where you will want to do a little bit of masking, and it's primarily on stencil number 1 and stencil number 4, because we have some floral layers and some greenery layers together. Now, if you have our little smaller brushes, you probably could um, get away with not doing any masking. If you're a little wily with blending, you might want to use a little bit of tape and mask here and there. But the great thing about this, we were able to reduce the number of stencils, so it's a little bit of cost savings for you. And you just have to do a little bit of masking or just some careful blending in order to uh, make sure that you don't blend the colors into the flowers and vice versa into the greenery. Okay, so when you foil something on a paper, keep in mind you may have to adhere down your stencil at an angle. So I am just lining up those stencil openings to that foiled image. And once I have it nice and in place, I'm going to tape it down so it doesn't move on me when I go to do the ink blending. I'm going to avoid over here. I don't want to accidentally get my sentiments. So we'll tape where it needs to be as needed. So for my first two colors, I am going to do a pink and I'm going to do a turquoise, technically paradise. It's in our Amalfi Coast, which is like our turquoise color family. So because I think I want to use at least my bigger brush for the greenery, I am just going to do some masking on the flower elements so that I don't get any of the paradise into the flowers. Okay. And then I'm going to use my 1-inch brush to blend in the base layer of paradise. Makes it go nice and quick. And then after that, I am going to grab my 1/2-inch brush and I'm going to add a little bit of depth here and there. I like these smaller brushes for this part because it gives me a little bit more control over what I'm doing. And you can just deepen the tone here and there. You could even use a little 1/4-inch brush and get it even more concise, but I think the 1/2-inch brush is perfect for this one. All right. I believe this is a lavender. Okay, let me buff this a little clean. I'm being gentle. I don't want to accidentally snag the stencil pieces here, but I am going to buff away that paradise ink. And now I'm going to remove these elements here. And I think I might just add a little bit of masking like this. I'm going to use my smaller brushes for the flower, so I should be good, but just to be on the safe side. So then I'm going to come in with some bubble gum here to start. So yeah, I believe these are technically lavender, but they have the look of other flowers as well. And so you can truly color these in any colors that you want to color them in. You don't have to stick with just purple. I will be adding some purple into them, but doing a little multicolor here. All right, I like that I can kind of deepen the tone just at the base of those flowers and then soften as we go towards the top. So glad you guys love our brushes. They're definitely game changers. Great brushes. Okay. So let's do a reveal of the first stencil. And it is coming along nicely. Okay. So we are moving on to stencil number 2. I'm going to line this up. Take a minute to line it up with those flowers. You just got to find the right petals. Remember, you might have to angle here and there. And let's go ahead and tape this one into place. And for this color, I am going to use Candy Violet. Absolutely, Lori. In the card world, you can use whatever colors you want to. That is absolutely the truth. So this is where the purple comes in. And we're going to have a really lovely multicolor flower here. I don't know if this is realistic in nature, and it's okay if it's not. It still is going to be really lovely on my card, my little garden card. Louise is asking if she thinks that the brush is touching as she stores them is worrisome. And mine touch as well. There might be like a tiny little bit of transfer of color, but they're not going to hurt it in any way, shape, or form. And they're pretty easy to clean. So I think you're safe. I think you're safe on that. Okay. All right. There is stencil number 2. So our flower is coming right along. Rita, so glad you could join us. Okay, so we've got another layer of flowers. So this is where you kind of have to make a judgment call because you've got some colors that overlap. So I think this one mostly overlaps with purple. I want to see what this one does actually real quick. That one's going to take me a minute to line up. It's very skinny. And that one mostly overlaps with pink. Okay, so this one's going to be the other shade of purple. Had to make a little judgment call there. So let me line this one back up again. Don't forget about the angle. These ones are a little bit smaller, so if it takes a little bit more time to line up, it's taking me a little more time to line it up as well. So just take your time to get all of the little areas nice and lined up. And for this one, I am just going to jump up to the next shade of purple, which is the darkest in this one. And this is Regal Kiss. Okay. All of these are going to be super pretty. So I am just Regal Kiss, Regal Kiss is a really deep shade of purple. So I am just barely getting any ink on my brush. And I don't want it to be super, super dark. I don't mind if it's dark at the base, but I do want to be able to blend it a little softer as we go towards the top. So I'm using just minimal amount of ink and blending it towards the top. Glad you guys are liking the purples. These are definitely like my favorite purples. I love them. I'm not the biggest purple fan, but I do love these ones. So we have stencil 3 done, and look at how lovely that is turning out. Just love it. Oh yeah, blue bonnets. This could totally emulate a blue bonnet. That's a great one. Okay, final stencil. This one has some super thin areas, so take time to line it up. Lining up that stem actually is probably the easiest area to line up, and that kind of brings the rest of the image into, kind of just brings it all together. So for this one, we're going to, goodness, hold on, just got ink all over my fingers, which I don't want to ruin anything. This one we're going to use Raspberry Bliss and Atlantis. I am going to use small brushes for this. However, I still might try to protect, where did that tape go? There it is. Still, I'm probably going to protect my little pink layers a little bit here. I think that one is far enough away that I won't worry about it. But let's get our layer of Atlantis, or the second layer of greenery, blended. Ooh, that one moves a little bit. So I'm going to hold it down. Hopefully it didn't get too much underneath. Maybe a little bit. It's okay. Okay. All right. Hold it down from this side. Right. And get these last little pieces here. All right, so this guy does move a little bit, so you just want to be careful when you clean areas that have a little bit of fragility to them. So I'm just going to gently wipe towards myself. Perfect. Okay. So let's do that last layer of pink, which is Raspberry Bliss. And this is also a really deep tone. Okay. And I think we are done blending, friends. A little bit out of my way. I'm going to gently clean up my ink. Now, I will clean my stencils more extensively after I end the live stream. And the way that I clean my stencils is I just spritz them down with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. And then I rub them with a dry cloth like I'm doing currently. And that cleans the ink residue right off. And you don't have to worry about them drying. They dry immediately. It's really super nice. Okay. let's take a let's do a final reveal on our lovely flower. And look at that. And that turned out super beautiful. Okay. Look at how pretty that is. I lost my window. There we go. Wanted to make sure that I was actually showing you guys things on camera. And look at the beautiful shimmer from the foiling. Oh, that just turned out lovely. Okay. So let me do a tiny little bit of cleanup here. Before we die cut, I'm actually going to grab the stamp set and let's stamp the Love and Hugs sentiment. I want to stamp it in black just to make it pop a little bit more than the foiling. So I just need a little scrap piece of white cardstock, so bear with me while I find a piece here. This should be big enough. And then I've got my stamping platform. And yes, the sentiments are lovely on this. This was designed by Caitlin Sheffer. She did a lovely job on the sentiments. So because of the colors that I chose, I didn't really know if I felt like this was fitting for a more of a sympathy set. So I thought the Love and Hugs would go perfect with my color choice, my color choices today. So that is what I'm going to stick with. I'm just gonna put the magnet here. It's a little fuzzy on there. Goodness. Great. All right, so there is that. We want that to stay in place. I need to grab my ink cube, so give me 1 second. It's just a little bit further away from my desk than everything else. All right. So I am going to probably stamp this a couple of times. I'm a light stamper. Also, these lines are very delicate and dainty, and I don't want to accidentally over ink. I don't want to press too hard. I want to maintain the integrity of the font design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press lightly, and I'm going to stamp it a couple of times, 2 to 3 times, to get a nice impression that doesn't change the width or anything. And 2 was perfect. And I have a lovely, crisp black sentiment, dainty lines intact. Just love that. All right, I'm gonna clean my stamp real quick. I like to get any hybrid ink, which Detail Black is a hybrid ink. I like to clean right away so that we're not leaving that hybrid ink residue on the stamp. So bear with me while I clean this up. And then we can go ahead and put the stamp away because we are done stamping. Okay. So we got to do some die cutting now. Basically, we just need to die cut the sentiment and the flowers. I will just kind of trim away the foiled sentiments and I will use them on a different card. So let's grab the coordinating die set and let's do some die cutting. Okay, first things first, let's just trim these away. I'm going to try to leave as much room around each piece as I can, but I don't want to run these through a die cut machine multiple times if they don't need it. So we will just put those aside. I'm actually probably going to trim them apart and put them with the product suite, and I will do those a little bit later. Okay. Let me grab my plates here. So plate I'm using. Goodness. All right. So let's get this aligned. I'm going to grab a couple pieces of tape here. I agree, Janet. Aren't the sentiments lovely? Okay. Sid is asking, do you just clean the stamp with fabric? I actually sprayed some cleaner on it. And then just, that was a dry cloth that I wiped the cleaner off on the stamp. Hopefully that answers your question. Maybe one more piece just over here. All right, I'm gonna run this through my die cut machine and I will be right back. Neil, this set will be released this coming Tuesday, so next Tuesday, so about a week away on December 10th. Everything will go live in our online shop at 9 a.m. Central Time. Okay. So there, and we've got, it cuts out some of the little pieces inside so you can see through it, and we have our lovely flower all available. Okay. Let's make sure, get that little piece out. There we go. Okay, so I might be able to actually cut a couple of additional die cut layers from that. So let's hold off on tossing that. Okay, I am going to grab my small die cut machine to do the sentiment, just to save a little wear and tear on my bigger machine and my plate. Okay, so let's start. Flip it the right way, Leah. There we go. And let's get these cut out. I might cut, I'm see if I can at least get a couple of additional layers out of that little leftover piece of cardstock from cutting out the flower. You're welcome, Michelle. I think that's Michelle. Okay. So let's get that cut out. Did that shift? No, it didn't. Okay. It was the angle that threw me off there for a minute. Hey, Linda. Oh, thanks so much. Okay. Let's get that pulled over there, get the little pieces cut out, and look at how lovely that looks all cut out. I am going to definitely cut a couple of additional layers, just because I feel like might be a little hard to pop up with foam. So if we can layer it up with some additional cardstock layers, that I think will probably be a little easier. So I know I can for sure get an extra piece from here. So let's cut it out with that one. Yes, my small mini machine is definitely well loved, but it just keeps going, man. The plates are well loved, everything is well loved. All right. So there's one layer. I'm not sure if it will work, but I'm gonna see if I can get one. I think it might be too small, but let's see. Let's see. Frugalia is coming out. Let's see if I can finagle this. I'm sure that's probably not gonna go through the closed captioning very well, but oh my goodness, look at that. I actually can get it. And it will cut it in full. Oh, and it shifted. Hold on. Don't shift. Okay, there we go. And look at that. I used as much of that piece of cardstock as I possibly could. I'm proud of myself. And it's true. It is just a little extra layer, so it's okay if it's not perfect. Here we go. So pieces weren't wanting to come out, but they did finally. Those can be crossed. I think I'm good with that number of layer. However, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but I'm going to grab a little piece of scrap ivory cardstock and cut an additional layer. I might make a little shadow, but I am not completely sure if I'm going to do it for sure, but I might as well have the piece cut out, right? And then I have it available. and I have it as an option. And if I don't use it on this one, I can always use it on a different sentiment. So let's do that real quick while I'm die cutting. So I am going to just put some information out there. I see people talking about, I missed what it was, but it might be possibly about cleaning your die cutting your plates in a dishwasher. I'm just going to put my experience out there. I did it once and it made a huge mess of the little plastic particle things in the bottom of my dishwasher, and I will never do it again. So if you don't have the same problem, lucky for you, but I want to put my experience out there that I will never do that again. So just to forewarn you, I didn't have a great experience with that. So I just wanted to share that in case anyone else had the same issue. Okay. Okay. Let's get our sentiment. Oh, goodness. Apparently I haven't used this glue in a while and it's a little stuck in there. So give me a minute to see if I can get this undone here. There we go. There we go. All right. Apparently it's been a while, so it might take a minute to get my little glue going here. I think I might have missed a question about press plates. So if you had a question about a press plate, please ask it again and I will hopefully catch it this time and answer. All right. I am just going to get the sentiments stacked. Oh, thank you, Isha. Right, about time for assembly here. I'm going to hold off on gluing the shadow layer because I'm just not sure if I'm going to use it yet, but I wanted to have it available. Okay, there we go. Okay. So let's grab our card base and our die. I have a card base somewhere. There it is. And then let's grab our die cut interlaced diamonds, which I am probably going to painstakingly add. I could have die cut a few more layers and uh, popped it up that way, but I think I am just going to use some foam tape on the back. I've got pretty thin strips, so I think that they'll work. I don't think I have to put it everywhere, just enough to kind of give it a little bit of added dimension. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Mostly, I think I'm going to focus on these little middle pieces, and I might put little pieces up by there. We're good on time, so I'm not too worried about. Sorry, this part we get a little quiet. I am trying to keep an eye on the comments to see if there is any questions I'm missing. Okay. Isn't it such a pretty background, Winnie? I just love it. It's very intricate and fun. I love that you can use the die alone. You can use it with the press plate. Lots of good options. Use the press plate alone. So many great ways to use it. Okay, so there's that. That kind of pops up that middle, which I think is good enough. We're just going to leave it at that. Because if these kind of flatten down, that's okay. Okay. Let's get this adhered to our card base. For sure, Janet. You could definitely cut this down. It's not quite as long as a slimline or a mini slimline, pardon me, but you certainly could add it on there for sure and just trim it down to make it a little bit more narrow. I think we have a question about if press plates work with a Gemini. They should work with the hot foil system. I don't know if Gemini has a letterpress system. So that one I can't answer because I actually don't know on that one. But if you have the hot foil system for your Gemini, it will definitely hot foil with our press plates. So there is my fun background. Now I'm just going to fluff the pretty flowers, and we're just going to kind of snuggle the flower in here at an angle and leave a little bit of room for our sentiment and some gems, of course. Okay. I'm just going to try to hide that little piece. I am going to add a little bit of foam tape underneath the flower strategically. Let's see, maybe just about here on the stem. And then up here. All right, let's remove the release paper. You guys are loving the flowers. Thank you. And let's add a little bit of liquid glue just to the bottom part of the stem here. Gently tuck it in here. Kind of put it at an angle a little bit. There we go. And then it kind of pops up off that background because I added that little bit of foam tape. And just do a little more fluffing as well. There's that. So now the decision is if I want to add the layer, the little, I think it gets a little lost on there. So I think I'm just going to leave it off this time. It's kind of ivory glitter on ivory glitter. And it's, to me, it's just getting a little lost. So I think I'm just going to go ahead, leave it off. But I am going to put a little bit of foam tape in the background where I can. Kind of keep this elevated off of that background. Okay, should work here too. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Can I get any to fit on this little and without it poking through? Let's see. I might have to kind of, there we go. A little fussy, but I got it. Okay, let's get those nice and glued down and let's get our sentiment added, a couple of jewels, and this card will be complete. All right. So we're going to add the sentiment just here. Maybe a little over top. There we go. No, just about like that. Perfect. Okay. So let's add some jewels, and this card is complete. So for today, it is pretty clean and dainty. So I grabbed the gems, the clear with gold dust gems for my card today. Oh. And these are the little bits I'm going to add to my card. Let's see where I want to put them. So in these ones, there's just the two small sizes included. That's okay because this card is pretty clean and dainty and feminine. So I kind of like the fact that they're all a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to put a couple little accents around here and there. Now, I actually like to put these ones, I like to adhere these down upside down. I feel like they are a little bit more sparkly and a little bit more shiny. You can do them either way, but I really actually love to adhere these ones with the faceted top facing downward. So we're looking at them from the bottom down. Right. Do a little set here. And probably one over here. Mm, Actually, I think I might do a little trio. Okay. That's really pretty. And then I think we'll do a little set. Actually, maybe just one little small guy up here. Actually, maybe, yeah, maybe right in there, but I think we're going to need to. There we go. That looks pretty to me. So that is what we are going to stick with. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate that. And then once you put glue underneath them, they might not look as shiny, but don't worry, once that glue dries and sets up, that shine will come right back. So just keep that in mind. It's just the glue it dries clear. So you just got to wait for it to clear up underneath that, and they'll be nice and sparkly and shiny again. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. And that is the last little piece. Let me get these put away so I don't knock gold dust gems all over. Kind of tossing them all over my desk, but that's okay. It was just one. And there is my card for today. I hope you enjoyed watching it come together. Thank you so much, Lori. Winnie, I use the same amount of glue as I do when I attach normal gems this way. So, or, on the other side anyway. So that is my card. Okay, let's flip this camera around. I believe Kinnery will be selecting a winner here momentarily for a spot in our February Create and Connect event. All right, friends. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Now, oh, I dropped a couple more little gems on my desk. Oh, thank you, friends. I'm so glad you enjoyed my card today. So this is our sneak peek live for our upcoming Gentle Greetings and Greenery release. That release will go live on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central, December 10th. And Kinnery is getting ready to pick the winner of our February Create and Connect event. So drum roll. And if you want to see another live this week, I'll be live on Friday with one of our retailers. Picture this. So that's 3 p.m. this coming Friday. All right, just keeping an eye out to see who the winner is. Drum roll. Everybody's got their fingers and their toes crossed. That's funny. And it looks like congratulations are due to Lori Cruz. You are the winner of today's giveaway. That's a spot, main kit spot in our February 2025 Create and Connect event. So please email heather@pinkfreshstudio.com to claim your prize, and she will take care of that for you. I am supposed to mention that if you want to upgrade to the press plate or the main kit press, the main kit plus press plate add-on, just let her know in your email and she can get that worked out for you. So congratulations, Lori. Can't wait to see you in the February event. Other than that, friends, if you want to join me on Friday, here with Sheila Earp from Picture This will be live right here on our YouTube channel on Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Other than that, everybody have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and we will see you live back here next Tuesday. Bye, guys.